Hello guys! In this video I am going to show you how to hook up a Ford Mark 8 or Mark 5 cluster to BeamNG and other games, such as Assetto Corsa or Euro Truck Simulator. These are the things you will need, the main one being the MCB 2.1. This board is an early backers prototype, so it comes in red, but the normal units come in white. As you can see, this board is an all-in-one solution. It has the microcontroller and the CAN bus all integrated. You can buy them at xconnect.cc. Alternatively, you can use an Arduino with CAN bus shield. That's the only solution we support right now. The other things you'll need is a 12-volt power supply, preferably 1 amp or more, and 4 DuPont wires, female to male, and obviously a jack to hook up the power supply. The last thing you'll need is your cluster. I'm going to be hooking up a Mark 8 Ford. If you're hooking up in a Mark 5, you can find the pinout on my GitHub. So let's get on with it, shall we? Once you flip your cluster to the back, you will see this connector. Please note, the Mark 5 might have different connections. This cluster has numbers in the connector corresponding to the pin location numbers. To hook up this cluster's power, we need to plug in ground to pin 3 and power to pin 8. Let's do that now. The ground from my power supply is marked as black. So let's plug it in to pin 3. And now let's plug in the power, so 12 volts, to pin 8. Please make sure to seat the wires into the connector firmly. Now let's plug in the CAN bus lines to pin 12 and pin 13. It should look like this. Now let's flip the cluster to the other side. Now let's finish wiring this thing up. Before we hook up the power to the cluster, let's connect the CAN bus lines to the MCB. To do that, you will need to connect the blue wire to the CAN bus high and the green wire to CAN bus low. Like so. Once that is done, you can connect your power. Now that is connected, you can connect the MCB via its micro USB port. As you can see, the RX, TX and interrupt should light up, and the cluster should illuminate. Like so. Now your cluster is practically ready. Let's jump into the PC setup. Okay, let's start with the PC config. Firstly, let's check if the MCB connected successfully to your computer. To do that, launch Device Manager. And you should see in other devices a Microcontrol Board 2.1. Early backers prototype is only for the EBP boards. If you see this, it means that you do not have the driver installed for this particular chip. To do that, go to xconnect.cc/drivers and download the MCB 2.1 driver. It should look like this after unpacking the zip. Launch cp210x vcp installer x64.exe. Once you start it, click Next and click Finished. Now you should see a COM and LPT ports tab show up. Once you open it, you should see a Silicon Labs CP210X USB to UART bridge. That means the driver is successfully installed. Now let's get into the configuration for the SimHub software. To install SimHub, go onto simhub-.com and download SimHub now. Once you've downloaded this, open this zip file. Once you open this zip file, you will see this. Run this and install SimHub. I will not run this since I have SimHub already installed. Next, run SimHub. Once you're here, go into the Arduino tab and My Hardware. You will not see this because I already have it paired, so let's get it unpaired. Once you have this plugged in, you'll see this hello waiting for Arduino boot, and you'll see connected. You should see a name like this. This means this is working successfully. There is one more thing we need to do before you can start gaming. You need to insert the custom protocol. To do that, click Edit here, then click Computed Value, and paste in the encalc formula. Please note this is not JavaScript, so we do not select this. Click OK. After this is confirmed, you're ready to use it with your games. Please note, you will need to select your game here if you do not have the SimHub License Edition. Now let's get into debug steps if your MCB does not want to work. Let's say that you see this, Xconnect Xtest. This means that your board was not pre-flashed during the shipping. You will need to flash it manually. We will cover this in the next section. Please note, if you want your board pre-flashed, you need to leave a note or email us at hello@xconnect.cc. To flash your MCB board, you will need to firstly disable this, click Apply, make sure this says not connected, then download the source code from my GitHub. Once you've downloaded it, open Arduino IDE and open the Xconnect link file. You should see something like this. If you have a MCB, do not change this line. If you have an Arduino, comment this out by adding 2 forward slashes to the front. Then we will need to select our MCB board. If you have the ESP32 Development installed, you will see something like this. Then you can type ESP32 Developer module. If you do not see this option, skip to the next section to install the ESP32 library. Next, if you have this already selected, go into Tools, Flash Frequency, make sure it's 80 MHz, and upload speed, set it to 512,000. When that is selected, click Upload. Your board's RX and TX should flash in this time. Once this has been finished, your white LED should flash twice. Close out of this window. Then unselect COM13 and click Apply. You should see this waiting for boot and connecting with a name Ford Fiesta Mark 8 V1.0. If you get to this, your cluster should work normally. Now let's go over installing the ESP32 package. Firstly, go into File, Preferences, and then you will see additional boards manager URLs. Paste in the link that I gave you in the description. Click OK. Once that's done, go to Tools, Boards Manager, search for ESP32, and install this package. Once that is installed, you can select the board from this menu. If your cluster is not working correctly, please follow these instructions to troubleshoot it. Firstly, check if your connection is successful. As you can see, this is not connected. We need to uncomment this and click Apply. With no connection, your cluster may not boot. The next issue that you might have is that you connected the CAN bus lines on the other way around. To check this, please flip your lines so that the wire that used to go to CAN high will go to CAN low, and the wire that used to go to CAN low will go to CAN high. If this does not solve your problem, please join our Discord, where me and my community can assist you in getting your cluster working. Thank you.